All right. Welcome to Bitcoin News, Bitcoin Crypto News Online. Today we are going to discuss the flashing bearish signal of Bitcoin, basically the whole crypto market somewhat. But we've got some good news too. So we will look at the $150,000 Bitcoin prediction for 2025 and so much more. So let's get right into it. Currently, Bitcoin's at 94,000, up 0.4% for the hour, but we are down for the 24-hour and the 1 hour. In fact, we're up on the 1 hour for most everything, but we are down on the 7 day and the 1 week. Not looking great for the market overall. I'm still bullish overall. But when we take a look at the market here, let's take a look at the 3 month market cap. We are seeing a kind of a curve here, downward curve, which is not real great for the market capitalization rate. Also, when you go look at some of these individual coins and you take a look at the different charts, you can see we have this curvature here of the 3 month. I think you're also going to see a downward slump here, 3 points down. Not really what we want to see. I don't think it's the end of the bull market by any stretch, but temporarily, yeah, it looks like we are doing some downward action here as well. So no matter what we look at, we are seeing a downward curve that is concerning. Could this last a week or two? I think for sure. We are looking at something that could last a while before it goes back up. And the main reason I say that is so that Bitcoin and crypto will make me wrong and shoot right up to the moon. But the charts are not looking that positive. I still believe we are in a bull market overall, but fear and greed 64, same as yesterday. We can take a look at the overall. Oh, this one doesn't have it. Never mind. We will take a look at the time chain calendar here, and you are going to get a good deal on Bitcoin as yesterday, very close, 1,066 Bitcoins, or not Bitcoins, Satoshis, which is 100 million times a Bitcoin is chopped in half to 100 million pieces. Each of those pieces is one Satoshi. So this is a good deal. Anything over 1,000 is a good deal right now in today's market. Let's take a look at our price prediction from coincodex.com, and we will take a look at that. We've got up from yesterday. We're up to $105,000 Bitcoin prediction. Boy, I can't talk right today. My apologies. Prediction according to the 50-day moving average, the 200-day moving average, the 14-day moving average, and other sentiments of the market, fear and greed, such as that. You can see the market, we are neutral right now. The 1 month prediction is 13,000 a Bitcoin, and the 3 month is 128. So actually our predictions are going up. So according to the cycles that we have every 4 years, this is what we're looking at. If you go to coincodex.com, you can go down and even project further into the future what the market might give you, might give us moving forward to December of next year. Showing here anywhere from 140 to 150,000 in November, 176,000. Right about where my $180,000 prediction was in June, 173. So between June and November here, the prediction is looking pretty healthy. So we may see some downness here in the month of January. Hopefully this will pick up sooner than later. We'll just have to keep watching the charts. Altcoin season still floating right around the middle there. Not really rocketing off like we'd hoped. It just seems to shoot up, kind of fake us out, or kind of begin to start. There's a little bit of profit out there that gets taken, from the early birds, and then it seems to die off. So we'll have to keep watching that as well. Some of the news, and before we go into the news, please hit that like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, really like to get my subscribers back up where they were before my content was kind of decimated. I've been putting out content since 2018. I used to teach about Bitcoin, and I have written a book called Bitcoin Will It Create Freedom? Bitcoin Equals Freedom. You can get the download for like a buck or two. It might even be free for Kindle owners. And then you can get a printed copy sent to you for like $5 or $10 or something if you're interested. A different take on crypto, on Bitcoin, and how the government and how freedom play into each other. So anyway, Bitcoin dips below 74K, and the question is, are the bears in control? Well, Cointelegraph here also tells us that MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, posts a Bitcoin chart hinting at an impending purchase. So looking like always ready to buy more Bitcoin. Bitcoin greed falls to October levels as we see Bitcoin kind of fizzle downward toward the year's end. And then Story Protocol helps IP creators survive the AI onslaught and get paid in crypto. Franklin Templeton predicts that Bitcoin reserves will expand globally in 2025, and MicroStrategy shares dip 8% right after the Bitcoin buy. So, yeah, they're a little more diluted, and they have borrowed more money or whatever, to get more Bitcoin. So that is something that's going to happen. And then as the price drops, of course, these things are going to happen. So those are some of the top news. I want to talk about something that happened, and please listen to this closely because this article isn't what you think. You see that the Daily Hodl here is telling us at dailyhodl.com that ancient Bitcoin address awakens after laying low for near a decade, and it moves over $34 million in Bitcoin at a 10,150% profit. Well, that sounds exciting, but there's a possible dark cloud over this transfer. Meharon Rohi tells us all about it here. It says that this wallet here is tracked by a whale tracking platform called Whale Alert. And you can look that up if you want to watch it. It's interesting to see the whales when they move. This can tell us certain things. But this specific wallet moved 357 Bitcoin worth over $34 million US. And it has not really done much in over 10 years, almost 11 years. BitInfoChart shows the wallet profit at a staggering 33.7 million from the price of Bitcoin. That's an amazing increase of 10,150%. It also shows the wallet hasn't been active since January 2014. At that time, Bitcoin was worth $862 per coin. Now, here's something interesting. Earlier in the month, BitInfoCharts found that the long dormant crypto whale wallet were receiving trace amounts of BTC, of Bitcoin, likely due to dusting attacks. These dusting attacks occur when evil people give small amounts of crypto to all the addresses, because they can look up on the ledger all the active addresses, all the addresses that hold money. They can send a little bit of Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies to these, like Bitcoin, other types of coins. But when they do, it's a technique that they use to invade your privacy, tracking the transaction data, and identifying the individuals or companies behind them. The flagship digital asset is trading at $94,209 at the time of writing. So that doesn't really have anything much to do with our story, but it is something you got to watch out for. If you find that you have a cryptocurrency that has been deposited into your wallet, if you have a Coinbase wallet or other wallet, if you try to trade or click on that and find out who it's from or anything like that, that could be dangerous. If you don't know where these coins came from, you weren't expecting them, yeah, you probably shouldn't try to swap them out or trade. Sometimes what happens is these are just fake and they will try to get a transaction fee for you to swap them into another coin, and they suck up your transaction fee, but nothing gets changed or the money is worthless. There's no real money there. So this can happen, this dusting attack. It's getting to be more common all the time. But yeah, definitely some crazy stuff going on there. Here is the bad news. I'm going to give you some good news before we end it. But the Daily Hodl tells us that Peter Brandit issues a Bitcoin alert, and he says that Bitcoin is flashing a bearish signal, and here's his targets, according to the Daily Hodl staff. And you and I, we just looked at the charts, and granted, I'm a very elementary, non-expert chart reader, but I have learned a little bit just by looking at them and studying them over the years, and you can see that there's a downward pattern. And it's not a long-term trend, but it is something that should keep us alert to what's going on. If you have money on the table that you can't afford to lose, that's something to think about. You better put some stop losses in there. Okay. So he says it's flashing a major bull flag. Also, Data Dash, I was listening to him. He has a YouTube channel. He's very good with charts. He usually sees things more bearish in general, but he plays it safe. He is actually a professional trader. He never buys at the very bottom. He makes sure there's confirmations, and he never sells at the very top. He always sells when there's signals of a downturn, and sometimes he misses the tops, and sometimes he misses the early entry points. But it is a trading technique that helps you preserve your capital, and you've got to give him some respect for that. But he's been sending this warning out too for a while. On the social media X platform, Mr. Peter Brandit tells his 766,000 followers that this crypto asset by market cap is forming a head and shoulders top pattern, indicating it could crash back down even below 80,000. I have heard numbers as low as 78,000, and this seems to be here. The head and shoulders top pattern might complete and take a price to 78,000. What might fail with a thrust higher, or it might morph into something else. But right now, that's where it is. It has a head and shoulders top, and we've got to deal with what it is. It is what it is. And also, we are when you don't hold your 20-day moving average, and you go below it, the next thing you could hit is your 100-day moving average. So that would definitely put us down lower. Hopefully we don't go into like a 500-day moving average or maybe a 200-day moving average. But he says the crypto king could be forming a similar pattern that it did years ago before it ultimately hits new highs. Now, this is something that I believe is going to happen, is that we are just getting a little dip before we really skyrocket up. How long that lasts, I don't know. Hopefully it will be not too drastic and shake out too many of you that are paying attention and are in it for the long term, at least for your Bitcoin and most of your major coins. Now, if Bitcoin's going to drop 20 to 40%, and that's what we're looking at, um, you know that the altcoins are going to take even bigger hits. So, yeah, it could it could pay. You know, non-investing advice. You've got to look at your situation. How much faith do you have in the market? How much more? When did you get in? You know, and look at all of these things and make your own decisions. But when the last cycle came, we had this called a hump, slump, bump, dump, and pump. So this could be similar to what's happening now, and we're just going into the dump. If you look at the chart that he has right here, you can see the hump, the slump, the bump, and then the dump. And then we would be to the pump, which would take us up to mind-bending levels of Bitcoin and fulfill that 150 to $250,000 price projections that we have heard, or price predictions, I should say, that we've heard from many analysts of large companies and so on and so forth. So, yeah, we'll see. We are on a little increase right now, but that could be short-lived. As people see this bad news, they could change up very quickly. So let's look at the good news. The $150,000 Bitcoin incoming for 2025, according to crypto analyst Michael Van Pompey. He's well known. I can't say his name great, but you'll hear about him if you listen to crypto news. You're going to hear about Pompey all the time. He tells his 169,000 followers that the Bitcoin rally will be approximately 60% over the course of it will rally 60% more over the course of 2025. So that would easily put it up around 150,000 or more. But yeah, that's what he says. According to the analyst, Bitcoin is primed to enjoy the bullish extended market over coming months. He says, I don't expect Bitcoin to peak in 2025. I expect that there's way more money needed to actually move Bitcoin upwards or move it into the markets. That's why I think the cycles are going to extend, and they are more based on macro perspective rather than the 4-year cycle halvings. Well, yeah, it seems like they are actually staying pretty close to the 4-year cycles from what I've seen so far. We just don't know which one it's going to end up being. Is it we're already done? That was it? Or are we going to hit that coveted super cycle, I like to call it? But he says within the year, we're going to see Bitcoin break through the 150,000, stay there for a while, and then we can start expanding in 2026. That sounds good. I'd be okay to see that. That would be wonderful to see Bitcoin push up to those levels. I think we would have to see the market capitalization get well above 4 trillion. So we'll have to see. According to Pompey, Bitcoin rally will be partially driven by the macro economic catalyst. And he's talking about the M1 money supply. Everybody's making more money. When the interest rates go down, more people start making money, and that really devalues the dollar and actually pushes Bitcoin up. And when that happens on a global scale, which it is because everyone's following the US's lead of lowering the interest rates, so we're hoping to see, according to this article, significant corrections in between this time. And at the end of Q1, quarter one of 2025, we should have a correction of 30%. So he's expecting to see a 30% drop. That is not unreasonable. In fact, that is very much like the super cycle that we're expecting a repeat of. So with that, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you are doing good. I hope you have a happy new year. Please be safe. Spend time with your family and stay off the road. And I'll see you next year. Happy New Year. Goodbye.